Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to Today Matters. My name is Jeremy, and today we're going to continue our journey through the book of Psalms by looking at Psalm chapter 13. And I'm pretty pumped. Today is a day where I get a whole chapter just to myself. Not to brag or anything, but I am the first pastor who gets to do that. So pretty proud of that. Time to jump in. We're going to start in verse 1. So let's read together. It says this: "O Lord, how long will you forget me? Forever? How long will you look the other way? How long must I struggle with anguish in my soul, with sorrow in my heart every day? How long will my enemy have the upper hand? Turn and answer me, O Lord my God. Restore the sparkle to my eyes, or I will die. Don't let my enemies gloat, saying, 'We have defeated him.' Don't let them rejoice at my downfall." Let's pause. What's happening here? This is a cry for help. This is the author in a seemingly impossible situation. He says this: "How long, God, will you look the other way? How long will you let me continue being in this difficult position?" I don't know about you, but I've been in difficult positions before. And I think the hardest part of it is when you feel like there's no end in sight. You feel like you're stuck and there's no immediate solution, there's no way out. It's really hard to be in the middle of a situation like that. You see, hope is a really powerful thing. When you lose hope, it changes everything. It's hard to keep moving forward. And in the middle of this passage, we see a man who is close to hopeless. He's lost all of that hope. But something powerful happens in verse 5. There's a little bit of a twist. Let's read that together. It says, "But I trust in your unfailing love. I'll rejoice because you've rescued me. I will sing to the Lord because he is good to me." See, what just happened in these last two verses? They do not line up with the first four. The first four are a lack of hope. It's despair. It's discouragement. The author is saying, "God, why are you forgetting me? Why aren't you listening to my prayers?" And then out of nowhere, in verse 5, it says, "Despite all that, I trust you." You see, this is a powerful idea. No matter how dark things get, we can always trust God. I remember when I was at summer camp as a teenager, the pastor was preaching a sermon, and about halfway through his message, he had the tech team in the back turn all the lights off. And then he challenged all of us. He said, "I want you to point to the entrance of the auditorium." And so all the lights are off, and we're all pointing to where we think the auditorium entrance is. And then he turns the lights back on and we see how correct we are. And sure enough, most of us knew where the entrance was. And here's what he was trying to say. He said, "You know where the entrance was because you saw it when the lights were turned on. Don't forget in the darkness what God has already shown you in the light." When things get really dark, when we can't really see our way around and there is doubt beginning to creep in, the best thing we can do is go back to what we know to be true. Go back to what we know to be true about God. What does it say here? "God, your love is unfailing. You've rescued me before. You're going to rescue me again. You've been good to me in the past. You're going to be good to me moving forward." The best thing we can do when things get tough is to remember the character of God and take hope in that. Now, I don't know what's going on in your life right now. You might be in a really dark place. Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe there's tension in your family. Maybe you've got a child who's wandered away from the Lord. I don't know what's going on. But here's what I do know. I know that you've got a God who loves you. I know you've got a God who cares about you. I know that you've got a God who has a plan for your life and actually wants what's best for you. That's what the Bible tells us. And so today, no matter what you're facing, I pray that you would take heart, resting in the truth of who God is and how much God loves you.